Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom, and I am the ambassador for heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. Dear Lord Jesus, please help to lead me. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so I'm about to put in a claim with the school district, but with the school district, and as I send things out to the ambassadors, I'm looking at making that claim under the Hurrian title of Sarah and the daughter of Zion. In order to do that, I need to make sure that I, linguistically trace the sound shifts as they come across so that I can make sure that I make those connections. So I'm actually putting this online as a legal record and for the ambassadors. I am claiming the following: that there was no F in Hebrew, and that there was no F in Mycenaean and the original Greek, the Proto-Greek. Therefore, Ephesus does not make any sense. Neither does Ephraim, Ephrathat, or any of the EPHs. This is a later phenomena that occurs when the Greeks actually really take over in Athens, and it's in a way you're going to see how they push Hepa right out and augment it, as did the Jews or the Ammonites. Now, there's one thing I have to be clear here. The deal with the people that we call the Jews, even though they're the Ammonites, is that you're going to catalog what happened. Even your stories, all of your mistakes. The Old Testament is like a working document of Adam, to know right and wrong, to experience good and bad, to begin to look at the issues of cause and effect. So even if I have the Adamites that are right now, I have to go in and get Judah. 2, I too was told to hold on to all my records for these last 30 years. So all the mistakes, my family's mistakes, what happened when I tried to get help, what happened in the medical profession. I was the whole thing with the school districts, the legal thing, the stalking, the FBI, the CIA, the judges, the whole 9 yards. I had to keep a record of all of this. So I understand what they're talking about record keeping. So for this moment, again, I am saying there was no PH with an F sound. In fact, there was no F sound. This is all new. It is a Hellenized version of the post-300 BC. And it's really something that occurred with the Masoret text, which we're really looking at even later than that. Just like the Song of Solomon is really a reaction to all the homosexuality that was going on and trying to get young men to really hold on to young women and that hope of young women. So let's just go in and take a look at the alphabet. We're going into my favorite site, Paleo Lexicon, and we'll come out of me. How do I come out of me here? Here we go. We're in Paleo Leo. So let's start with, we're going to start with the Carian, because you're going to see that the Carian is also a Roman. I might have to put you on pause for a moment. You know why it's not loading? They turned off my Wi-Fi again. We've got my little Snickers here, and they like to go around and turn things off so that everybody knows who's actually in charge here. They turn it off as I'm talking. That's interesting. Okay, supposedly now we're connected. Let's try this again. You're going to turn me off again? Well, take a look at the screen because you'll see it turn itself off. I should really do that because this is being taped. I think it's being taped. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Carians, and you're going to see that it's the Italians that call them the Carians. They're actually the Corians. You'll see that there is no C in their alphabet whatsoever. Okay, and there's also no F. There's no C, and there's no F at all. Good. Let's go back into this language. You're going to turn yourself off? I hope not. Well, just going down early proto, those that would take a peek that would affect this. Not really. These are the Haddock. Here we have hard A's, but there are no F's here. They might have something to do with the Hurrians. They do have a Z, they do have a Z, but they don't have any F's. They have H's. Notice there's no B. That's interesting. But they do have a P. All right. A is itself, and when you split it in half, that's interesting, you have we. That's when you first have the we. That's an interesting one. I would like to draw your attention, Alap, on the Phoenicians, this lets us know Alap actually comes from the age of Gemini, coming out of the age of Gemini, which is when the alphabet was actually being formed. Alap means language or tongue. So when you hear Alap, meaning a bull, that is really something that they steal from this, and that happens during the age of Taurus. So every time you're going to see the bull sign, this is a bastardization of Alap, and it's actually moving away from a more female, gentler goddess that's over land and over creation, and it moves into a more violent, more sexually expressive male god. Again, this is Alap, and this lets you know what alphabet came first, because clearly A and Alap for language makes a whole lot more sense than a bull. And they just turned this off again. Here we go. Turn you back on. Great. Would you please stop turning me off? They would just like me to put the case in. We're going to look at the Lydians. Oh, I want to get into the linear B. You're going to see there's no linear B. Are you going to turn me off again? Okay. Linear B, linear A, here we get into the Greek, the early Greek. As we begin, there's no F. There's none. No F whatsoever. I'll talk about the Z's and the A's later with the linear A and linear B, but there is no F, there is a K, there's no C, and no F whatsoever. Alrighty. The Queen and Mr. Trump and everyone would really like me to get this done like so much sooner. Look at how in the linear B we have Adamos and Adamos. That Adama actually comes from the Hurrians, and it was also the Sumerians, but we actually first see it, I think, in the Hurrians. It means, well, the Sumerians as well, it means land, earth. So here we go. Adamos was a personal name, but Adama, and they turned us off again. You stinker. Adama is actually a personal name, and that's not Adam. So you can see how the very early Greeks in this area, the Mycenaean Greeks and that, how they are taking these original androgynous beings and making that a man. Let's come in. Stop turning me off, please. Here we go. Language. Let's look at Lydian. There is no F. Oh, there's an F. Lydian has an F right there. It looks like the double 8, but that's not a PF. Not at all. That's interesting. So there's no PF, and we call that a phoneme. There is no phoneme with that PF. All right, and that's the Lydian. Let's come over here, and they also, oh, do they have any C's? They have a C, they have a K. There we go. I wonder what the difference is, and that's what it looks like. And that does sort of look like that K. And that's, I wonder what sound that makes. Let's just take a peek. Are you going to turn me? And they turned us off again. Oh, you stinkers. You know, this is connect. See what C looks like. Stop turning me off. Oh, isn't that interesting? Q, God. I wonder what that means, divine. Interesting. So that's Lydian. That would be worth looking up at some point. Okay. Let's go down into the Hebrew. Are you going to turn me off again? Proto-Semetic. That would be us. Oh, Phrygian. Not good. The Phrygian. Here we go. There is no F. This is Phrygian. There's the F, the Phrygian. Originally, it was not Greek. Remember, Phrygian has a very homosexual city called Philadelphia. They have the Arga, let's see, here's Adama, Adamna, which is friend. This is she from the Mount Agos, and that is the epithet of Cybil. Now, there are people who do work within ancient goddesses, and they say that Cybil was Hubble. There is no sound shift. This is not related to it. And this one, right here, that one, right there, she was a male-female god. The goddesses cut off his penis. She was a hermaphrodite, and they had the galley for priests, while priests who half the time were prostitutes. And she was the magna mater for Rome. So this is really the whole Roman thing, and it has nothing to do whatsoever, and they turned us off again, with Heba. And they keep turning me off. Well, we see this, okay. I'm getting hit by a lot of Wi-Fi, by the way. They are the group that are worshiping Cybil. We'll call them the Apollo Zeus. Zeus is not a rendition from from the, pardon me, from the Sanskrit, from the Diva, or from the Deus, because the sound shift from Sanskrit over to Greek was a TH, and that then would have been Theos and not Zeus. Zeus is coming from mountain. All right, so there we are here. Notice they have the AB that they begin to take on, and Abbas, and they say Abbas is a personal name. When you begin to look at the Phrygians, you begin to look at a group of people that begin to take in everything about the female goddess, and they turned me off again. This is not the library, by the way. These are the people that are in my computer, and they're just letting you know they're there. All right. Languages. Let's go into I have to do the Semetics, the Semites. There is no PH or F in this. In fact, there's no A. Notice the E is going to be me or my. We're going to see that in terms of Adonai, which means actually my Adon, and Adonis is my Lord. Adona is my mistress. Adonai, when you add it, Adona is mistress, and Adonai means my mistress. Adoni, A-D-O-N-I, is my master or my lord. A-D-O-N-A-I means my mistress. In the same way, Sarah meant princess, and Sarai meant my princess, and God told Abraham, which is actually AVAB, which is for Haba, and then Raham I thought was about the god Amun-Ra, but Raham, as it turns out, everybody take a look at my face, as it turns out, Raham actually is uterus, and in uterus in Hebrew, it's masculine. And uterus in Latin is a masculine noun too. This is called the diabolical penis syndrome. Okay, the diabolical Y syndrome. All right, here we go. There's no other way to say that. Women have had absolutely no say about how language is going to be constructed. There is no other way to put it, folks. And when you say, oh, when they say, oh, you know, you're being male hated. Are you kidding me? Look at what you've done. Are you serious? Oh, what wine babies. Okay. Let's go back now. Oh, what a bunch of whiners. Yeah. Okay. Any more languages here? Let's see. I think so. You can go in and you can look at all of these. Maybe we should take a look at that one. Oh, they're still letting me do this. Pre-Greek. I don't think we're looking at that. Oh, there's no PH here. That means F. Okay. I'm waiting for them to turn me off. And finally, let's see. This would have been around the area of Sumner, and there's no F in Sumner. Or some of the languages we've looked at would have been used in Sumner. Let's see. Here's Abba, desire. Let's see if they have Adam. Interesting, I don't see it. All right, let's put us on pause for just a moment. Hi, they turned off my internet again. So I think we're just going to close this and thank you. I wanted to show you how the Hori were the names of the parents. It means parent in Hebrew, but it's the Hurrians. It's interesting. And how Islam was going to have sex with all of the Horis when they die, especially the ones who died in war, which is very interesting because the Pakistani president said, look, at this point, I will act as a peacemaker and help you with peace, but we're not going to war under any certain terms. Because I said, when you guys die, I'm going to give you mechanical hori, and you will be driven by your sex, your need for sex. And so all of a sudden now, I think they're beginning to get the message. So I'm going to say goodbye because they're not going to let me do this online, and I'm going to try to upload it. Okay, thanks. And they want me to get my case done and submit it to the embassies. There we go.